clown world. So if you're a man and you're out there, please understand, if you have a strong brotherhood and you go to jail, you can send your brother over to your wife and he can lend her money and he ain't gonna fuck her and he's gonna check on her. He's gonna check on the kid because he knows what brotherhood is, and he's gonna check on the kid, and there's gonna be a man they can call if there's trouble, and he's gonna pay the rent, and he's gonna make sure she doesn't do anything stupid either. She ain't gonna be able to cheat or run around because he's around. Everything's under control.
Yep.
If you have money, once again, you can take care of your problems. But if you're a normal dude and you get hit, you get punched, you can't do like me. You can't come on a podcast and make fun of these people and laugh it off. Once they hit you, you're toast. Your chick's leaving you, you're losing your kids, you're losing your house, you're losing your job, you're losing it, you're done, bruv. Done. And you ain't getting back up. You're getting knocked out and you're not getting back up. So while you're standing, if you're not preparing yourself for this, you're a fool. You're a fool. Everything I've just told you about the world is completely true and you know it. So after all of this talking, if you don't have the motivation to get rich still, then you're born to lose. You're just born to lose. Then I don't know what to say to you. Wash my car.
Goes back to that.
Wash my car. I don't know what else to say to you. Go wash it. Because you're a fucking loser.
Andrew, I know you spent your time in jail reading the Quran, right?
Right.
I want to know, did you ever get time to read the stories of the prophets?
You know what I found most interesting about the Quran?
You'll see what I'm tying into in a second. Go on.
I don't want to get this wrong. I hate getting things like this wrong. But I think it says day 365 times, or days 365 times, and day 30 times as many as there is in a month. It says month 12 times. And there was all these language patterns inside of it, which is incredible.
One of the miracles I find fascinating is Allah mentions in the Quran, you know, the ratio of land and water is 71% water, and I think 71%, and the rest of it is land. God mentions in the Quran, it's the exact ratio. Land is mentioned X amount of times, and water is mentioned X amount of times. It gives you the exact same ratio as it is.
And it was recited over 20-something years or something. It's completely incredible. Even to remember to use the word month only 12 times across 20-something years of recitement, 26 or 29 years. It's incredible to me.
So, but what I was going to ask is, with things that the Prophet said back in the day, you know, there will be a time where all these agendas are taking place, and people at the time would be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like, nah, man, can't be the case. You know, you got LGBT and all this sort of stuff. And, you know, at the time that seemed absurd. So, do you look at it now with obviously life you've experienced and think he's right?
Oh no, absolutely he's right. And
you see it probably more firsthand than any of us.
The problem is,
I'm talking about people selling their souls. I'm talking about all of it.
So first, let's talk about me selling my soul, because I want to make this very clear. I keep saying this, and I want people to know at home how this works. I was offered to sell my soul. So let me explain to everyone at home exactly how this works. You don't become the most Googled man on earth without them trying to control what you say. The reason all these stupid superstars say the same garbage and don't speak out against injustice and didn't speak out against COVID and don't tell the truth about anything and don't have any interesting opinions that could actually save people from slavery is because they've sold their souls. And typically you have to sell your souls to become famous. You sell your soul on the ascent, and they won't allow you to become famous unless you do that. I broke the matrix. So once I was already famous, they wanted to control what I said. And it's very simple how it works. They come to you with a sponsorship contract for a large company. And that large company will offer you, let's say hypothetically, let's imagine there's a guy called Top J, and imagine it will offer him 50 million. And they will say, you will take 50 million, but to make sure the brand is represented well, you're gonna wear certain clothes, you're gonna dress a certain way, and you're gonna have certain opinions. You're not gonna talk about this, you're not gonna talk about that, you're not gonna talk about this. If you're asked about Israel-Palestine, you're on this team. And if you're asked about transgenders, you're on this team. If you're asked about things, you change your opinion, and you have to have all these opinions to represent the brand under the brand integrity guidelines. And the good thing about this sponsorship contract is, us as a brand, we spend huge amounts of money advertising in these particular media outlets, which means the media will talk good about you. They'll stop lying about you. They'll stop telling the world you're bad. They'll protect you because they can't insult you because we pay for them via advertising. So what they're basically saying is, we'll get the media to stop talking bad about you. We'll give you a bunch of money, and you'll say what we want you to say, and you become a puppet and a mouthpiece for the Matrix.
But they didn't say this directly, though, did they?
They told me I would have a sponsorship contract. They told me I would have certain opinions to protect the brand integrity guidelines. They told me that I would have favorable reviews, favorable outcome from the media because they sponsor the media outlets.
So
and that's what they say. And they offer you the contract, and you can say yes or no.
So how do you know that that was a form of selling your soul, as opposed to that just being a sponsorship deal, big money? Obviously, they want to protect their brand. So when I say sell your soul, I'm talking about literally selling it to the devil.
Oh, okay. Literally sitting here in front of millions of people and telling everyone it's okay to be transgender. Isn't that selling my soul? Whether I do it for a company or for the devil?
No, it is, yeah, it is.
It's selling my soul. And they tried to get me to sell my soul. When I said no is when I started saying on podcasts, I'm going to go to jail. And guess what happened?
So this was a while ago then?
Yeah, it was a while ago, yeah. Because the only way they got away with the insanity of putting me in jail for no reason was after they spun up the media machine to convince people I'm a bad person first. If everyone didn't think I was a bad person, you can't just throw me in jail because everyone would riot and be like, what is this garbage? So they have to use the media machine to lie to you. So once the media machine started kicking into gear, once I declined their offer, I knew what was gonna come. I knew it. So that's how selling your soul works. And I want everyone at home to also understand 99% of them have sold their soul. And you need to sit as a human at home and say, am I gonna idolize someone? Am I gonna support someone? Am I gonna respect someone who has sold their soul to the devil, who will tell my children bad ideas, who will ruin my family because I like their music? I mean, they don't care about you. Do you care about them? Please understand, all of the artists you listen to, all those people on Spotify, all those actors you like, all those sports stars, all those Instagram influencers, all those garbage people you follow have sold their souls. All of them. All. And they have done it for their own personal gain, so they can make millions, and they don't care how they damage society by extension. And you are society, so they have decided to damage you to benefit them. Why are you following them? Why are you going to their football games? Why are you watching their music videos? Why are you going to their concerts? Why are you supporting the people who have sold you out? Because they all have. I want to make this, I'm saying this now.
Agree with you
I'm
completely.
the only one they're putting in jail. I'm the only one they're putting in jail. They've all sold you out. If I would have taken that contract, I would have never gone to jail. I would never be labeled a human trafficker. I would never have the bad press. I'd have 50 million extra pounds. I would not have lost 25 million in legal fees so far. My life would be objectively better. My children would be safer. My women wouldn't have their houses raided. All of that, if only I had taken the money, but I didn't.
Do you think once someone sells their soul, they can't get it back?
Absolutely. Once I mean, maybe perhaps you can try and reverse the bad you did, perhaps. But the scary thing about all of this is, once you sell your soul, that's only the beginning. So let's say I said yes. Then I would be invited to a party, which I'd have to go to, part of my contract.
Are you talking about a party on like a private island sort of thing?
Perhaps. Or a party where something happens. And I was there at the time. And there's footage of me there at the time. Something happened and I had to go as part of my contract. And then I'm not told not to tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. And I don't tell anyone because I'm not supposed to and I don't want to get in trouble. But now I have a secret I'm harboring and they know I have it. And they're holding it against me and they can blackmail me. And then I get invited to go somewhere else. Do you understand? That's the beginning of it. That's the beginning, my friend. And then you're so far down the rabbit hole that you know the truth. And now, even if you want to tell the truth, how do you redeem yourself? They'll kill you.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll kill you.
When I look at it in the likes of that.
Anyone who's brave enough to face execution to tell the truth is the kind of person who would have been brave enough to say no at the beginning, like me. I'm the kind of person who would tell the truth and get killed. But I'm also the kind of person who would never get there. That's the point. Anyone who ends up there is a fucking coward. And you're sitting at home, jerking off to the Super Bowl's halftime show, like a dummy, and going to concerts when they're in town. Yay! They're supporting the people who have sold you out, like a fool. Because they all have. They all have. Because if the celebrities with massive voices told the truth, which they know to be true, about economics,
They'll all have cases.
about finance, they'd all be fucked.
Yeah.
They'd all be fucked. How do they get away with doing what they get away with? How am I a human trafficker and these rappers get to run around with endless ratchet chicks and nothing happens? Explain that.
It's interesting because I was speaking to someone who knows someone who's actually sold their soul, right? And this person was saying people sell their soul for different reasons, or they have sell their souls for different agendas. For example, you might have this group of rappers constantly talking about sex and drugs, and you might have this other person constantly pushing the whole, agendas of society. And all this, they literally just target people. Okay, what can we do with this person? What can we do with this person? What can we do with this person?
Well, yeah, they'll go to a rap group and they'll say, we think that your songs about sex and drugs sell the most. So here's your record contract, but you need to sing about sex and drugs.
Yeah, literally.
Done. Done. Just like they'll go to these streamers and say, you have to gamble on stream for kids to watch. Here's your money. There's a bunch of different ways they do it to degrade society. The reason they hate me is the same reason they hate Trump. Because no one owns us and we have our own money. And they can't buy us. And they're trying, and we say no. And it makes them mad because they just use money and buy everybody because everyone's a selfish idiot with no morality who wants cash. I say I have enough money. You could offer me $1 billion right now to say something I don't want to say, and I'd say no. And they are flabbergasted by that. And it angers them to their core because that's the one tool they've used their entire life to manipulate not only people, the world. They use money to influence the world. We give money to the newspaper to print that COVID is dangerous so that people will buy stock in the pharmaceutical company that we own because they have to have the vaccine. They control everything with money. So when they say, here, do this, and you say no, they're like, what the fuck? No. Woo. Prosecutor. Get him. Human trafficker. Human trafficker, you just had an orgy at Davos. You just had a fucking orgy. Jail. And then PC Plod, police officer, I'm a good guy. Bro, dummies. Bro, it's crazy, but I have a dream. And my dream is that people wake up and realize all these celebrities hate me. Why do I follow any of them? Why do I talk to any of them? Why do I absorb any of their content? Why do I negotiate with any of them? Because they hate you. And you need to at least have enough self-respect to say, well, if they hate me, I'm just not going to support them. You know?
There is one point there that you said that I will, not say I'll disagree with, but I want to counter it, yeah? Sure. So you said, Trump is free as well. And for the same reason why they don't like you is why they don't like him. Yeah. I'd argue one thing there.
Yep.
He was once a president. Yep. I'm under the belief, and once again it's a conspiracy, that at the cost of you being president is also a sales transaction. Okay. So I would say that Trump did sell his soul. Or what do you think?
I would argue that, and I'll tell you what I think happened. Trump was like me. I got famous and I wasn't supposed to. All the traditional blocks that prevent you from getting famous, I bypassed. You need to have a sponsorship contract. You need to have a contract that allows them to put you in movies. You need to have a contract that allows them to play your song on the radio. You need to get interviews with mainstream media where they ask you nice questions. You need to do all this garbage to get famous. I bypassed that, and I can prove it because I got famous via social media. So famous, in fact, that, as you correctly said earlier, TikTok has invented brand new algorithms and built brand new detection software to make sure that nobody can do it again. I was a black swan event, and they said, oh, this person got famous and jumped over all our fences, and now he's telling the truth. So we need taller fences. So now, anytime we decide to ban someone, we can ban their voice, we can ban people talking about them, we can ban a picture of them, we can ban any videos of them, we can ban a cartoon that looks like him, and then we'll ban the account with AI. People spent a year building brand new AI technology because of me. Because of me, to make sure that nobody can do it again. They don't want anyone to do it ever again. Trump was the same. Nobody expected him to win. He wasn't supposed to win. The day before the election, they said that Hillary Clinton had a 99% chance to win. And they thought, well, we'll use the mainstream media machine. And we'll tell everyone at home that Trump doesn't stand a chance. Don't waste your vote. And that Hillary's going to win. First woman president. She's the best. She's great. And we're going to just psyop everyone. And then Trump won.